Good evening and welcome back to the Unveiling Evil podcast. This is episode 5, and today we're going to be doing the case of Belle Gunness. As always, if you guys are interested, down below in the description box you can find all credited sources. Also, you guys can feel free to suggest any future cases you may want to see. Please like today's video, share if you want to, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, let me know how you guys feel about me doing more shorter form content in terms of the true crime thing. Just I thought I'd try something a little bit new, not do too longer videos, but not do too short either. Kind of mix it up a little bit. I don't know, just let me know. So Belle Gunness was actually born in the late 1800s, and basically through her growing up and into adolescence, there wasn't a whole lot that I could find on Belle Gunness. However, as she did approach adulthood, it was noted that she would actually do things like start house fires to gain insurance money. She would actually kill people to gain their life insurance. She would steal from people. So already we can see that Belle Gunness is an incredibly money obsessed, money driven, quite a greedy person. And Belle did actually get married, and there was actually a strange house fire that occurred shortly after she'd gotten married. And again, she was actually paid out the insurance money, so she burnt her own house down and received the payment money. And also, Belle Gunness's husband would actually mysteriously pass away in 1901. And again, Belle receives another insurance payout, so even more ka-ching. And around this time, she's actually suspected, but she is not apprehended. I think it's just because there's too many fires, there's too many insurance payouts. This woman is constantly, and I mean constantly, receiving quite large amounts of insurance payouts for these bizarre events. So obviously, if that's happening, she's going to stand out as somebody that is very suspicious. So around this time, back in 1901 time-ish, she had received around about $217,000 in total. And later on, she actually went on to buy a farm. Now, a part of that farm was actually completely ruined yet again by another mysterious fire. And once again, Miss Belle Gunness is actually awarded the insurance money. So in 1902, Belle actually marries again. Shortly after her wedding, her husband's daughter actually passes away, which resulted in her current husband actually becoming suspicious of Belle and at one point becoming so paranoid and afraid for the safety of his other child that he actually sent his other child to go and live with different relatives so that that child was out of harm of Belle Gunness. So Belle Gunness actually did go on to murder her second husband, also in 1902, and he was found with a bloody wound to the skull, which Belle Gunness actually stated that a meat cleaver had fallen off of the shelf above him and actually hit him in the head area, and she again receives another insurance payout. And in 1902, the amount she received was $81,000. At this time, Belle already has children and she does actually go on to have another child as well. So shortly thereafter this, Belle Gunness actually decides that she's going to begin to post herself in the Lonely Hearts columns, which is basically in the newspapers. There's like a little dating section where you can appeal for the kind of person that you want. You can tell people what you look like, what you're looking for, so on and so forth. Like a little dating section within the newspaper. And also because Belle Gunness actually wanted to appear to a wider range of gullible and unsuspecting men, because she's money hungry. So Belle's ex-husband's daughter actually ends up vanishing, and this caused major suspicion. But however, Belle was able to explain and lie, and the lie seemed good enough, so therefore the suspicion was actually dropped. People just believed what Belle Gunness had to say. when in fact Belle had actually killed her ex-husband's daughter. So Belle Gunness would go on to kill the men in which she would lure to the farm, with Belle being the person who was to collect the insurance money. So what she would do is she would find a potential dare, get to know them, put out an insurance policy on them, and then there'd be a mysterious accident or some mysterious event where they die, and she would be the person who would actually go and collect the insurance money. Not only collect the insurance money, but she was also the person that also put the life policies into place for these men. So in 1908, there was actually another unusual house fire where 4 bodies, 3 children, and 1 adult woman who was decapitated were actually discovered. The woman's body who was decapitated wasn't actually a match to Belle Gunness. Initially, they did think that this deceased decapitated woman's body belonged to Belle Gunness, but the physicalities and the physiques just didn't match up. Also, the sizes were completely different. Like Belle Gunness, I believe she was over 6 foot, and this girl was not anywhere near that. And also, if the woman has been found decapitated, there's no real way that, especially in 1908, that they could have identified this to be positively Belle Gunness, because DNA technology and things like that just weren't developing. They weren't a thing at that time. Also, there were 12 other bodies recovered, and many of those bodies were unidentifiable. And it is believed that Belle Gunness is actually responsible for the murders of around 42 people. So prolific, definitely a huge danger, and definitely, I would say, one of the deadliest women and deadliest female serial killers that we've ever seen. Now, interestingly, one of Belle Gunness's accomplices was actually apprehended and sentenced to prison time, but the money was also completely gone. So all that insurance money was completely zip, zero, nada. Like not even a cent was found. The entire money, and let's not forget, it's like 217,000 the first time, and then she got another payment of like 81,000. So this woman had money. So she could easily get herself out of the area, move to a different country if she wanted to. Definitely get away from the scene, and definitely she had the finances to be able to buy herself more time. So there were actually reported sightings of Belle Gunness within the Chicago area and in other areas too, which brings us to 1931 when a woman actually passed away, and she was waiting for her trial to start. She was on trial, or waiting to be put on trial, for the poisoning of a man. And this woman had a photograph in her purse of 3 children who strongly resembled the children of Belle Gunness. So this is where I'm going to end today's episode, because they do believe that Belle Gunness actually passed away. She was this woman that passed away that was waiting on trial, and if not, Belle Gunness was actually, if that wasn't Belle Gunness, she was actually never found. So maybe she did get away with 42 approximate murders. Maybe she didn't. We never know. You guys are going to have to make your minds up on that. So this was another quick episode. Super glad to have this up, and super glad to have a new format and to, try out a little something different with my videos. So I hope you guys do like these shorter true crime stories. Please, as always, subscribe. Let me know down below if you want me to do any more cases. And yes, I will see you in the next one.